First, we're gonna be needing 4 eggs. Separate the white from the yolks. I used 8 eggs here because I doubled the recipe, but I can give you my ratio and it's perfect for like 6-inch cake, and I'll leave it in the description box below. So now that we have our egg white and egg yolk, we can now add the liquid ingredients. And by the way, I used 6 tablespoons of water, and I just put it in the 1/3 cups of measuring cup. And then now we're gonna add the oil, same measurement of oil. Then we're gonna be adding vanilla. I need this cake to be a little more dark than usual, so I put kind of 2 tablespoons of it. So now for our dry ingredients, in a separate bowl, we're gonna be adding our flour, and then sugar. So you see, I also use light brown sugar here because I need my cake to be a little more darker than usual. But you can use regular white sugar. I just did it on purpose, so yeah. The recipe will be in the description box below so you too can make it at home. Because, it's quite that easy. Next, into our dry ingredients, we're gonna be adding baking powder. And I'm using half a teaspoon here, so it might look like I'm putting a lot, but really, I'm, I mean, I'm not. So now, let's add some baking soda. And last but not the least, some salt. So now that our dry ingredients and wet ingredients are done, we can set it aside and make our meringue. With our Waris attachment, so you know what, you can add cream of tartar in here if you have one, but if you don't have, you can just put few drops of vinegar or lemon juice if you have some for stabilizers. So now that we're waiting for our meringue, we can add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients so that we can create our cake batter. Later on, we're gonna fold this meringue into that cake batter. So now that our egg whites are ready, you can now add our granulated sugar. I'm using 1/4 cup of sugar in here. Because I'm using I double the recipe, that's why I need to add more sugar. So yeah. Oh my gosh, the dogs are barking really really loud. So now we're just gonna wait for our meringue to be ready, and then we're gonna fold in the meringue with the cake batter. Now that our meringue is ready, I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. When you remove your wire waist attachment, you can see that it has like a peak of it. So that's that's how you know if it's all ready. So now that our meringue is ready and we have our cake batter, we can now add a little bit, like a quarter of our meringue to our cake batter to lighten it up and fold it gently. So the reason why we do this first, because the cake batter is quite heavier than the meringue. So we need first to lighten it up before we add the rest of the meringue, so we don't knock off all our precious bubbles that we created into the meringue. So now we are ready to put the rest of the meringue into our cake batter, lightened cake batter. I'm trying really hard to get everything in the bowl so that we can end up having fluffy sponge cake. Alright, so now we're ready to fold in. Let's fold our batter very gently and make sure to turn your bowl every once in a while. So fold, cut and fold, and then scrape. So make sure that we don't have any egg whites. We want our batter to be fully incorporated. Just like so. And then prepare your baking pan with wax paper. I'm using 10-inch round pan here, and then I'll divide my batter. I'm just eyeballing it because it won't do any harm. So, yeah. Scraping everything again so we can't waste anything. So, after that, we can now spread our cake batter. It's okay if it's not so even because our cake will rise in the oven, so we don't have to, our OCDs with a flat spatula. It's okay. Roughly spread it is okay. Make sure that you preheated your oven before you put the cake inside. And so sorry for my butt. I don't know. I don't know the setting is, so you know. I'm real sorry. So when it's baked and cooled down, you can put some cling wrap on it and put it in a fridge. It will last you a couple days or more.